Hello, and welcome back to Ys Origin. I decided to head back to camp anyway, just to see what was up. Nothing new to report. So it's time to go exploring where we could not go before. Anyway, since we're just going to be retreading a bit of old ground right now, there are two playable characters, at least at the start, Yunica, Tova, and Hugo Fact. Now, there are six priestly families of Ys, Hadal, Tova, Dabi, Mesa, Gemma, and Fact. And the fact that they chose a Fact to be the other initial main character, that is Hugo, is a no-brainer considering how crucial the Fact family was to Ys 1 and 2. But the selection of Tova is interesting when you remember the writings of the Book of Tova in Ys 1, which said something along the lines, "We must never give up the goddesses. The goddesses give meaning to our life. We must always protect and cherish them," and so on. Which made it natural for one of the members of the expeditionary party to be a Tova. Yunica is the first playable female in the entire Ys series. Not the first fighting female, that would have to go to Karna from Ys 4, especially Dawn of Ys. Oh yeah, Mask of Eyes. Reveals the truth behind false walls, but you can't see anything else. Boop. Speaking of Gemmas, this is Rico Gemma. He has a mechanical function for us that persists throughout the whole game, but we'll be getting into that a bit later. Epona doesn't have quite a big role in this story. She has a much bigger one in Hugo's. Here she's just some sort of generic fighting antagonist. No, it's the other guy who plays a big part in Unica's story. Yunica succumbs to a bit of adultness by letting the narrator explain things. And this is the Gemma family's blue necklace. It serves pretty much the same functions that it does in Ys 1. It allows us to bypass some of the nastier traps in the tower. And it has another function which will also seem extremely familiar, but that's a ways off. So I'm going to splat some bats here, but this is because I really want the experience. I want to be up a few levels before I hit the next boss. As someone pointed out, Yunica's story is probably the most typical of the three stories present in Ys Origin. Which fits because she is the most adult-like of, mechanically, of any of the characters you can choose from. Granted, she's not a carbon copy. as we will be seeing. For one thing, Yunica actually talks. Adol can seemingly speak any language, he just rarely does so. Hello, NPCs! Indeedy! So yeah, there are about a couple of adventuring parties worth of wizards and warriors in the search team. Unica's story deals more with the knightly side of things, while Hugo's deals with the other sorcerers mainly. Ha! Well, okay. It does seem like the sort of thing that Yunica would do. Yeah, we don't want to lose the party blacksmith. Yeah, we aren't going back to base. By teensy bit means we're going to ram this all the way up to the next boss. And we have the first appearance of slimes. They generally serve the same functions they do in all of the Nepishtim engine games, that is to ram you in the face, inflict status ailments on you, and generally hurt you until you cry. In this game, they get the additional benefit of splitting! And our first leg armor. There are no shields in this game. Okay, these gold knights can block attacks, but that's fairly easily dealt with because you can actually jump in this game. Adol did not have that benefit when he was climbing the tower. The gold knights are another enemy that was imported from East 1. I've already seen quite a few of them, and they will not be the last. Oh yes, something I forgot to mention last time. One of the benefits of doing down stabs is that they have a chance of actually stunning enemies, allowing you to get free hits in. It's much easier to do with Yunica than with Hugo, because Hugo is extremely range-focused, and Yunica is, well, you expect to hack things up close with Yunica. I'm not going up those stairs because there's something pretty important through that door all the way to the right. God, 4 damage. This is why levels are important. Now, hey, it's one of those medallions, you know, like in E6. Yes, Yunica knows how door crusts work. Okay, these knights have double attack and you fight them in a confined area. There is nothing that could possibly go wrong. I'm not too proud to abuse magic. Even though Yunica herself cannot use magic, as she will remind us many, many, many times over the course of this story. Yeah, that's where resistances start to come into play. One of the things that the Nepishtim engine took from Ys 5 was elemental resistances and weaknesses and all that stuff. And while I'm farming here, apparently when Ys Origin was first known about in the West, it did not have the greatest reception, you know, before the story was translated. Because there had never actually been an Ys game that had actually focused on a single dungeon bash. Never mind that about half of Ys 1 took place in Darm Tower, and about half of Ys 2 took place in Solomon Shrine. It still wasn't used to a game that was all dungeon. Well, guess we're not solar-powered right now. So without the benefit of the story, people did kind of lose patience of this game. And one of the earliest articles on Ys Origin, which was at Hardcore Gaming 101, was actually somewhat negative towards the game. The thing is, Ys Origin actually lives on its story. So playing the game without the benefit of it could be a little bit wearing, considering that you have to go through the tower 3 times if you want everyone's stories. Yeah, originally you actually had to play through both... hold on, keyboard is acting up. This has never happened on camera before. I'm going to have to deal with this. Wrong key! Okay, I've got it worked out. I do hope that the author of that article takes another look at Ys Origin with the story and everything translated. So as I was saying, originally you actually had to clear both Yunica and Hugo's path before the third character became available. However, the bonus disc for Ys Origin came with a patch. Okay, here we are back at the boss chamber. it came with a patch that made it so that only one character's route had to be finished, and all this content was put in the Steam release of eSword. So now I'm buying some upgrades before I go into the next room. As you can see, I also took the time to level up because there is a boss behind that door. A boss that is either good to me or hates me with a fiery passion. So, what beast has the tower got for us today? Well, you're not gonna get one. Do you even lift? Okay, Belagander. Belagander was the boss of the Rastini Caverns of Rastini in East 2, and here he's gotten quite a makeover. This is quite an involved boss fight. The bubbles can be dispelled by Yunica's tornado, and you need to hack the lower face enough for its skull top to pop off, allowing you to chop directly into its brain. After, it will close up every time you reduce it to reduce 1/4 of its hit points. And after you've actually hit it a bunch, it will start spawning worms. If these worms are sucked in by, well, this attack, Belagander will actually regain health. And since its attack cycles are determined by the percentage of its maximum health that you do, letting it suck in almost any worms will greatly lengthen the boss fight and put you in even greater danger. The worms also leave slime trails which cause you to slip around, and can make you run into things that you'd probably rather not. I've already been hit a couple of times myself, and then there's that attack. That'll hit you for around 30 damage, or probably around 1/3 of your hit points, or maybe a little less at this point. So you need to be diligent about clearing out the grubs, making sure not to slip around too much, and avoiding getting smacked across the room. The boss fights in this game are much, much more involved than they were in Arkham Nepishtim. And Belagander is actually one of the tamer examples of that. However, if you manage to keep your wits about you, defeat the worms, and are decent at jumping, this is what happens to Belagander. Now, we're not done quite yet. There's something we can do only right after we beat Belagander. But first, save point. There are generally 3 save points in every major section of the tower. One at the beginning, one before the mid-boss or middle event, and one before the end boss of the section. There are plenty of save points, so you're not really starved for that sort of thing. Okay, you can only get that SP reward right after you beat Bellagundr. If you go too far into the next section, he won't actually give it to you the next time you return to base camp. So, that's it for this section. See you next time.